Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, As-salatu was-salamu ala Rasulillah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. With the continuation of the topic of Mudood, today inshallah we will discuss another mud, and that mud is called Maddul Muttassil or Maddul Wajib Muttassil, the connected or attached lengthening. This mud also falls under Maddul Far'i or the secondary lengthening, and this mud is caused by letter Hamza that comes after the mud letter in the same word. Because Hamza and the mud letter is in the same word, that's why this mud is called Muttasil or the connected or attached one. And this is called a wajib because it is obligatory to recite this mud with 4 to 5 counts. And we can see some examples here. So ya is in a mad condition, followed by letter Hamza within the same word. So here in this word, we have the conditions of Maddul Muttasil. By giving it 4 to 5 counts, we will recite it like this. Waji'a. In the next example, you can see Alif mad is followed by letter Hamza within the same word. We can see the conditions of Maddul Muttasil. By giving it 4 to 5 counts, we will recite this example like this. Ja'akum. In the next example, we can see Alif mad followed by letter Hamza within the same word. By giving it 4 to 5 counts, we will recite this mad as Maddul Muttasil like this. As-sama'i. So the conditions that we need to remember for Maddul Muttasil are the letter Hamza should be after the mad letter within the same word. And the difference between Maddul Badal and Maddul Muttasil is in Maddul Badal, Hamza comes before the mad letter within one word, and we give Maddul Badal 2 counts, while in Maddul Muttasil, Hamza comes after the mad letter within the same word, and we give it 4 to 5 counts. Now we can see in this example, Hamza is before the mad letter. So by giving it 2 counts of Maddul Badal, we will recite it like this. Amana. While in the next example, we can see Hamza is after the mad letter within the same word. So by giving it 4 to 5 counts of Maddul Muttasil, we will recite this example like this. Sha'a. Maddul Muttasil can appear in the middle of the word or at the end of a word. So if you see in this example, now you can see Alif Mad followed by letter Hamza within the same word. So you can see the conditions of Maddul Muttasil in the middle of the word. So whether you choose to continue or you stop, you will give 4 to 5 counts of Maddul Muttasil here. Like this, Ja'akum. But in the next example, if you look here, if I choose to continue, I can see the conditions of Maddul Muttasil and I will recite it like this. As-sama'i. But if I choose to stop, I will apply the rules of Maddul Arid Sukun. I have an option of 2, 4, or 6 counts. So I will apply the rule of the stronger mad and recite it accordingly. So Maddul Muttasil or Maddul Wajib Muttasil occurs when letter Hamza comes after the mad letter within the same word, and we recite Maddul Muttasil by giving 4 to 5 counts. The next mad is called Maddul Munfassil, the separated lengthening. This mad also falls under Maddul Far'i or the secondary lengthening, and this mad is caused by the letter Hamza that appears after the mad letter in the next word, and that's the reason that this is called Maddul Munfasil or the separated lengthening, because Hamza and mad letter are in 2 separate words. This mad is also called Maddul Jaiz Munfasil. Jaiz means permitted. It is permitted to recite this mad with a short count, but in our way of Hafsun Asim, Tariqatu Shatibiya, we recite this mad with 4 to 5 counts. And this mad occurs when letter Hamza appears after the mad letter in the next word. So basically, mad letter is the end of the first word, and Hamza is the first letter of the second word. And when we continue to recite, we will give Maddul Munfasil 4 to 5 counts. And we can see some examples here. Tubu is the first word. Letter waw is in a mud condition. So if I choose to continue and do not stop my recitation at the word tubu, now I have the conditions of maddul munfasil where I can see letter hamza as the first letter of the second word. So by giving it 4 to 5 counts, I will recite it like this. Tubu ila Allah. But if I choose to stop at the first word, which is tubu, then I will not give 4 to 5 counts. Rather, I will recite it with maddul asli or tabi'i, only with 2 counts. But in continuation, I will recite this with maddul munfasil by giving it 4 to 5 counts. In the next example, we can see letter alif mad and letter hamza in two separate words, where alif mad is the last letter of the first word, which is idha, and the second word is starting with letter hamza. If we choose to continue our recitation, so now we have the conditions of maddul munfasil. By giving it 4 to 5 counts, we will recite it like this. إذا أراد. And again, if we want to stop our recitation due to some reason at the first word, now we will not recite it with 4 to 5 counts. Rather, we will give 2 counts of Madul Tabi'i or Madul Asli. In the next example, again, we can see the conditions of Madul Munfasil if we choose to continue our recitation. By giving it 4 to 5 counts, we will recite it like this. Bima awhayna. Sometimes in the Quran, you can find certain words written together and they look like as if they are one word, but in Arabic language, actually, they are two separate words. For example, ha'ula'i or ya Ibrahim. You can find them written like this in the Quran, but actually, they are two separate words. The first one, like this, ha is separate and ula'i is separate. And ya Ibrahim, ya is one word and Ibrahim is the next word. So, because originally they are two separate words, we will call this maddul munfasil and not maddul muttasil, where mad letter is followed by hamza within the same word, because originally these are two separate words. So when mad letter is followed by hamza in two separate words, in that case, we will call this maddul munfasil. So maddul jaiz munfasil occurs when letter hamza appears after the mad letter in the next word, and we recited 4 to 5 counts in our way of hafs. The next mad that we are going to discuss today, inshallah, is maddu silatul kubra, or the greater connecting lengthening. Sila means to connect, and this mad only occurs in case of continuation, and we drop it upon stopping. This mad also falls under maddul far'i, or the secondary lengthening. And this is almost the same as maddu sila sughra in all conditions, such as having ha al-dhamir at the end of a word with a kasra or dhamma. But the only difference in silatul kubra that this mad only occurs when there is one specific letter after ha al-dhamir, and that letter is letter hamza. And upon continuation of our recitation, we will recite this mad with 4 to 5 counts. Maddul sila sughra was 2 counts, and maddu silatul kubra is 4 to 5 counts. We can see in this example, ha al-dhamir, which in this case has a kasra, is followed by letter hamza, and by giving it 4 to 5 counts, we will recite this example like this. Fi hukmihi ahada. But in case if I choose to stop at this word, hukmihi, at that time I will stop like this. Fi hukmihi. So in that case, there will be no mad. In the next example, we can see ha al-dhamir is followed by letter hamza. We have the conditions of maddu sila kubra. While giving it 4 to 5 counts, we will recite this example like this. Ma lahu akhlada. But if I choose to stop at the first word, in that case, there will be no mad. Rather, I will stop like this. Ma lah. So sila kubra or sila sughra only occurs when we choose to continue our recitation, and upon stopping, there will be no mad. And reciter must try their best to maintain a proportion when giving mudood of the same length, and maddu sila kubra follows Maddul Munfassil in the vowel counts. And if you are reciting Maddul Munfassil with 4 counts, then we should try our best to recite Maddu Sila Kubra also with 4 counts. And if we are reciting Maddu Munfasil with 5 counts, then we should give Maddu Sila Kubra 5 counts as well. So Maddu Silatul Kubra only occurs when Ha al-Damir at the end of a word with a kasra or dhamma is followed by letter hamza. Then in case of continuation, we will recite it by giving 4 to 5 counts, and upon stopping, we will drop the mud and we will not recite it with any mud. I hope these mudud are clear to you. Insha'Allah, we will continue with the topic of mudud in our next class as well. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.